What's up, everybody? It is another episode of The Rap Game. Super excited because our boy Roscoe finally got the #1 spot. We're going to see how we do it. Let's get it. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Keep you right by my side till I die. I wanna hold you down, make sure everything is right with you. Y'all remember this? Let me hold you down.
Let know,
I remember that.
Sign us up. We got a new band right here. A boy band.
Lip sync over here.
For sure, man. This is a banger.
Yeah,
And what Marion? Come on, man. You already know. What's up, everybody? You know what it is. Another episode of The Rap Game. We got a full panel in the house.
Finally.
I know, right? It's been a minute, but we all back. I've been your host, and I've always been your host, Lem Gonsalves. You can find me always at The Poet Saint all day, every day. Also, you can check out my website, stayonthemic.com. Next to me is my main man, Hollywood, getting noticed everywhere in LA.
Fans.
Nino Llanera.
There you go.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Nino. Catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Check out my fashion and health lifestyle website, thefifthelementmag.com, for all the freshest news.
Yeah. And you know, always holding it down, be your own dad, extraordinaire Jimmy
Yes,
V.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Jimmy V. Twitter, Instagram, at Be Your Own Dad. Shout out to all the Rap Game viewers that have actually gone to my blog. I see you and I appreciate you. BeYourOwnDad.blogspot.com. Keep that up.
Keep it up. And last but not least, anchoring always, my boy JJ the talented Joshua Johnson.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joshua Johnson. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at JJ the Talented. And since everybody's talking about the website, you can find me on my website too.
Drop it.
JoshuaJohnson.tv. Check it out.
Oh, we
TV.
got a Joshua
TV.
Johnson.tv.
What?
We're doing things over here. We're doing things over here, you know?
Big things over here. You know. And also we want to shout out. We want to shout out the other Joshua, our engineer. It's his birthday.
It's his birthday.
It's
Happy
your
birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_. I'm actually on BHL Sports Weekly with Joshua.
You better
That's
plug
right.
that.
That's right.
There you go.
Might as well.
Every
plug
Thursday
it.
night, BHL, 7 o'clock.
What?
There you
Two
go.
Joshes?
Plug in
To
the
the Josh.
system.
That's
How it works.
All we need is
telling you.
a Drake now. It'll be Drake and Josh. You know? Drake, Josh.
Drake Josh.
Bring it back to this time.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
Hilarious. What was that, Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon. Hey, I'm guilty. I did watch that show.
You
I did
did.
watch that
I
show.
bet you
Yeah.
did. I bet you did.
I think
I bet you did.
I bet you did. I bet you did.
I think I was already of age when
Oh,
that show
man.
came along.
I think my son watched that.
Good one, Lem.
Sometime.
Good one.
If I had one,
Have you been up yet?
if I had one, he'd be watching that show.
If Lem's your daddy, press 1.
Let's see the live chat.
Oh, live chat's lit. What's going on, everybody?
Live chat. Shout out to everybody in the
ready.
live chat.
Yeah,
No
they in the
diggity, no
building.
doubt.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into this episode. It starts off with Tally reeling about her number 5 position from last episode, and I mean, I predicted this earlier, and I know you guys didn't disagree. Is that she's been on this decline, and I said that once Deetronada started stepping up, and even some of the others, Roscoe, Flashe, once they started stepping up, she was gonna get put to the end. And she's number 5 last week. I know she's questioning it because she did start off so strong at the beginning, plus she's the only one returning, but realistically I think she deserved that number 5 spot. And I know wasn't here to talk about it last week with y'all, but what do you guys think?
It's not to say that she can't make it in the rap game per se, not the show, but the rap game as a whole. But I think, and I've said it from the beginning, that I don't think she has what it takes to make it, to win this particular show. To win this show. And that's showing. Just like you said, the cream is rising to the top.
Right.
You have Nova and Deetronada kind of consistently getting those top spots.
Sure.
And Roscoe is a huge challenger. And I think that I'm going to say it now, that he has the opportunity to win it, I think. But Tally, unfortunately, I'm not a Tally hater. I'm just saying that for this show, I don't think she'll win it. and we're seeing her hit those number 5 spots consistently now.
I mean, talk about catching a flat tire. I mean, you know, she started off good, nice, coasting 1, 2, and then boo, boo, boo. She's now leading in the back. And then just to go off exactly what you said, Josh, and Flage's mom mentioned this during the show. She said she's got some, what she say? She's got some strongs, but she's got weaknesses. And it's those weaknesses that are really bringing her down. Now, if she works on those, I think it'll definitely make a difference. But as we see in this episode here, she landed right back on number 5.
Right. If she works on those, Nino, if she works on those, she'll be great.
And the one thing with Tally is, she says she hates to play the race card, but it is really evident and hard for her in that perspective. Her looking like she's a white chick trying to be in this rap game. Like, as much as people say, you don't have no struggle, that's the struggle right there.
That's
evident. That's evident right there, because she is the minority in the whole, the whole industry, or that part of the industry at least. You know what I mean? So she has to face that all the time, and I think now it's kind of getting to her even more.
Yeah.
So because like press junkets like this or whatnot, that's gonna get thrown out, or things like that, or how she handles it's gonna get thrown out. So it's kind of a lot to take in. But I still kind of stand by, like, I still think, maybe she won't win this particular show, like you said, but somebody will snatch her up for development. Somebody will snatch her up because they could mold her, and she knows she's an artist, so she knows she's moldable, and she's willing to do it. You know what I mean? And she can catch the mass majority eye. You know what I mean? Which is why people would love to grab her. You know what I mean? You see her numbers online. Her, she might be declining on the show, but she's still
online. Of course. And she's got a package. She's got a presentation.
That's
definitely.
Someone can take that and run with that and market her. And I think once she does work on those weaknesses, put that together with her whole package, she does have a package that she can present to the world and say, okay, this is Tally, and she can excel.
Well, and look at it for what it is. I mean, this is a challenge. I mean, he takes you to different aspects of being an artist. It's not just rapping. It's not just lyrics.
That's right.
It's everything. And I think with her, and I mean, if you think about it, like, I mean, I know, we give the comparison to Iggy because that's really the only comparison we can give her to that's like hers, like a young version. But imagine if Iggy did a show like this. It would probably be the same exact result. You know what I'm saying? But Iggy is a popular person. When she, first came on the scene, she blew up the spot. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, this girl's dope, and da-da-da-da. And she had this marketable, image that everybody liked, and, how her look was and all of that. And so, again, I feel like Tally's in that same bracket in the sense that she's very marketable. She has, like you said, her online, she has the biggest online following out of everybody in this competition. So, I mean, ultimately, she it's not like she's not going to be successful in what she's doing. I think it just comes down to, like, is she going to win the show and how is she going to do? And I feel like her weaknesses are standing out now, that they're going and doing these different challenges that she probably isn't used to doing.
Nino, let me ask you a question. Major issue on this episode was, is she being true to herself? Is this actually her? Do you think she's putting on a phase as if she wants everybody to like her?
Oh yeah, definitely. You saw what they called her an actress straight up, right?
Right. Yeah.
By the way, homegirl with the curly hair and the glasses, super extra.
Super extra. Okay. Like, you know they paid her. Right. You know they paid her. Yeah, is she like a big? Is she a big journalist?
I loved it.
It was needed though. It was needed though.
That wouldn't even happen in a real press conference.
It wouldn't. But it was done purposely.
It was good.
It was
done
done
purposely.
purposely.
I mean, but that's a different story. We'll get to that in a second. Extra, but I still like you, girl. I think she is putting up a wall, a facade or whatnot, because she doesn't know how to act like her true self, or she's too scared to act like her true self because she still feels like she needs a card to be able to play in this game. You know what I mean? Like, as far as big racial tensions are out, right now with everything political, just living in the U.S. or whatnot, it's not like she's trying to ask for the card. She just wants to be accepted, and it's so hard for people just to accept something different. We talk about it. We're all minorities here. You know what I mean? And we know how it feels. To be not the mold of what Hollywood wants you to be. And we think that if she's coming into an industry where, or a part of the industry where that mold is totally different from her, so she's feeling the same way we're feeling.
Sure.
But people don't necessarily get to feel that. They don't think about that in that retrospect. You know what I mean? Which is sad, because if we feel that way, we gotta see how they might feel as well too, because she didn't come from struggles as far as financially. She didn't come from any of that stuff that other people might have came from or whatnot. Her struggles are different. She just doesn't know how to say it right.
Yeah, okay.
I fully agree with what you're saying. Being yourself is probably one of the most vulnerable things you can do in life.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of us have struggled with that, but the secret, the key about the thing about being yourself, what I'm trying to say is that once you do that, you'll realize that that's what will attract people to you.
That's right.
The vulnerability.
Yes,
They can
exactly.
see that you're human. They can see that you have flaws. And they can see that they can relate to you.
Right.
I'm learning that myself in my personal life right now. Being yourself is what people want to see, what they like.
And I think that's what she's learning from. You know what I mean? Like she's great on the business aspect as far as like what she wants people to think she looks like, how she wants to put herself and perceive herself. As far as artist development, and the A&R could take her and it could be good. You know what I mean? It could be dope. But you might see like a Nicki Minaj, facade with her because she's too scared to be herself, which might deter her later on, but still, make it work for her in the industry. But if she learns that and every other little pieces that she's trying to work for, she can be something to reckon with. You know what I mean? Yeah. But these other kids, though, they're all killing it.
They're killing it, and I think again when you talk about maybe we'll get into it, but the whole struggle aspect, and I was like, JD was like, "What struggles?"
Right. And she was so scared to answer that.
Right.
Which I'm just like, girl, just tell
Right.
me. Like,
We don't know
feel
that
it.
she doesn't struggle.
And
We don't really
that's
know
the
her
thing.
life.
Well,
Exactly.
and that's the thing. But I think him looking, and he knows more than we do because he's the
I'm
one
sure,
that, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying, got her on the show. So knowing kind of the background, and when he was here, I said a lot of them don't end up on the show because parents got felonies or it's just a too bad of a situation that it's just not going to be feasible for the show. So obviously he knows, and he has her on the show for a purpose because of what she's doing. She's this, obviously she looks like she's white, but she's Spanish or what have you. And she's rapping and she has that look, like that Iggy look, which what made Iggy popular.
And you saw she had to throw in the Latina thing on Channel 46 when they were on CBS 46 at the times, right? She had to throw in that Latina aspect for people to know. Like she probably thought that out. It was like, I gotta tell her.
Absolutely. And that's why, and JD Silva said when he was here, he was like, actually, she's Latina. Because, before, we were like, oh, this is a white girl. This is a white girl rapping, which is cool, but this is just what the perception was that we got. Let's get into the episode. It is about publicity. We've already been talking about it. And so, shout out to Bow Wow coming through the house.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Doing his Thug Thizzle.
Mr. Fresh as I'm is.
Right.
Who's that dude with the fur hood?
Like, you don't know? He's the same height as JD? Come on, man. You know who that is.
You know who that is.
So he comes through the house, right. And obviously JD, this is somebody that he, put on from day one. He's, probably one of his biggest, products.
Second to Chris Cross, actually.
Yeah. Well, I think Chris Cross, I think he surpassed Chris Cross because he had more longevity than Chris Cross did.
Definitely. But,
you're talking about in terms of chronologically.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Chris Cross was first, and then
Absolutely. So he talks to the kids a little bit, and obviously he, is a great mentor to them because he started off as a child rapper. And so, coming in, obviously they didn't have social media like they did back then. But obviously he came up in that rank so he can, empathize with everything they're going through. And what he basically told them is that key element is to watch what they say. Because, in the publicity, in the eye, and, they went through this challenge, you say certain things, you may not mean it a certain way, like what Roscoe did, but it comes off a certain way, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then when they put it in print, it's like, wait, I didn't say it like that. But that's what's perceived. So he was basically talking to them. So they decided to do some mock interviews, which I thought was good to kind of see where they're at. And so this is when we get the struggle line from Tally. And JD is like, what's your struggle? What you talking about? And she was like, well, she had to kind of backpedal because I do understand. And when she said that, it took me back to like when you look, I don't know if you ever watch American Idol, and you see these kids auditioning, right?
The packages.
And they're like, and they get up there and they're like, so tell us about yourself. And all of them, it doesn't matter who they are, they're like, I've been through so much, I've been wanting this, and you're just like, have you really been through that? you're 16. Like, you know what I'm saying?
People love the struggle. They
Right.
love the story and the struggle.
And it's the storyline, but to reality, if you're like 30 plus and you coming from the hood and you're like looking at the 16-year-old
like,
person,
what?
then it's like struggle. What are you?
I deal with that every day.
What are you talking about?
about?
Yeah. So that's when she said that. And again, she's coming from her own space.
Yeah.
To her, she has struggles.
Right.
To someone else like JD, who's like, looking at her sideways, like, you don't know struggle. But to her, she has struggles, so she's speaking her own truth.
Yeah.
But it's funny how, you say that and it's just like, it's just like when I remember being, junior high school and I liked somebody.
Back in the 60s.
There we go.
I had to.
Right, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
I'm gonna wait.
No, it's coming. It's coming.
I know it's coming.
You know
I'm
it's
gonna be with
coming.
them all night.
Yeah,
So.
you know it's coming. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. Anyway, yes. Junior high school, and you like the girl,
Yeah.
and you find out she don't like you, and you're like devastated,
That's rough.
or you got a girlfriend, and then you break up after 3 weeks, and you're
Yeah.
just like, I can't go on.
Right.
You think life is over.
Teen eggs,
Or
y'all.
that
It's a
summer
real
camp
thing.
girlfriend that you had at summer camp.
Oh man, stop
And then
it.
go back to
Stop
school.
it.
and
What's her
it's
name?
Stop it.
Sounds like you
Shaquanda.
got a story for us.
I can't remember. Remember Shaquanda? Yeah. Summer
What's
camp.
her name?
But no, you really devastated. And you're just like really like, I don't know if I can go on anymore.
Yeah.
And you think about it now, it's like, oh my gosh, that was nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But back then, it was
big.
it was your world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing here. These are kids.
Right. At your point in your time, you had different struggles and you had different things. I mean, we think people with money, or we think people with being affluent in society don't have struggles. They probably do have struggles.
Oh,
We just
absolutely.
don't see
They
it.
do, yeah.
They have just
Absolutely.
a better platform and better way to work
Absolutely.
with it. It's really just we just don't know.
It's all relative.
Just
Everybody
know-
has adversity.
The
Yeah.
grass isn't always greener on the other side.
True.
So,
True. Sometimes
And what
you
is
just don't
they? In the words of the thespian Sean Combs, more money, more problems. True.
Hey, there you go.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's true. It is true.
Yeah.
So you got like you said, it's all relative. Roscoe did seem focused, which
Thank you,
when
Roscoe.
I saw that, I was like, he's going out for this.
Yeah.
He needs that number one spot.
Nice to meet you.
You look very nice.
Right.
Thank you for your time. Thank you
Mr.
for your
Rico
time.
Suave.
I
He
appreciate
pulled
it.
a Nova. Yeah, he
Roscoe was
pulled a
he-
Nova on
I'm
us.
telling you right now, this brother. I mean, he was like, I have to get number one spot. Like
He knew it.
Yeah,
he
he was
had
focused.
to because
He
he was
was
the only one
gunning
left.
for it.
He was
It's
the only
about
one
time,
left.
too.
He was the only one
about
left.
time.
And this was his one to do it. So they talk about basically there's going to be a challenge. They're going to do some media outlets, and bottom line is once they actually do this challenge, they get whoever wins this challenge is going to be on the cover of True Star Junior. And I love how Nova's like, yeah, my friend Nia was
My
on that
friend
cover.
Nia.
I know,
Yeah.
my friend Nia was on that
My
cover.
friend.
My friend. And then we see Tally, who we were talking about at the start of the show. She's saying she's nervous, and this is a prime example of where she's just like,
What to do?
exactly. And the challenge, and it was going to be a tough challenge because basically you had to write a new rhyme. You couldn't rhyme anything else or rap anything else that you had done, and it's that the beat challenge where the beat's changing up and you got to stay with it. And she obviously seeing this prior.
Last week, right?
Huh? Yeah.
No, this is when they did the.
Wait a minute.
Oh, my bad.
We're talking
My
about media. We're talking about media day.
You remember when you can't mess up live? That's okay.
And that's what happens on live TV. All right?
Just
Yo,
keep it going.
my bad.
You keep it going.
What happened was I watched both episodes back to back because I wasn't here last week, and so I got mixed up. My bad.
Okay.
Anyway, but she was also nervous about that too.
She was.
Yes.
Well, she's nervous about this whole thing. Right?
Yeah.
You know what? And I think the reason why she was nervous about this specific thing was maybe one of the reporters was gonna ask her a question that she
Wasn't prepared for it.
couldn't think of something to say,
answer.
which would be her real self. Kind of like
Right. She's too coached, and she's so
That's what it
comfortable
is.
with being coached.
exactly.
You look at her sister.
Overcoached.
Like look
Yeah.
at her sister. You can tell with her sister.
Very put together.
Very poised,
Yes.
very and it's like, oh, I know what to say. It's almost like what is it, beauty pageant.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like her style. And it's like she's been groomed that way, and I agree with you. Like she was feeling like, wait a second, they're gonna ask me, or it's gonna be a situation like, okay, so what makes you think you can win, or what makes you, better than, you know what what I'm saying? And then she has to not come off like, I'm better type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you have to be too safe, like they
Exactly.
were saying.
Right.
Exactly.
You don't want to give a little too much cockiness. You just have to
Right.
reserve back. Sometimes you just got to give a little bit of that, like, hey, I am pretty good. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure I can win this contest.
Sure.
Still with give that little smile.
Right.
And be like, but I definitely wish everyone liked me.
And she's like, she has to walk this fine line of,
Sure.
trying to show a little bit of herself maybe, but trying to paint this picture. And I think part of that, I don't know, you may disagree, but I think part of that is also because she's from Nashville, Tennessee. It's evident on her social media that she is a young person of faith, and when you're in the rap game, there's certain lines you have to walk, even in that respect, because it's like you don't want to alienate your community of faith.
Sure.
At the same time, you still want to be in the rap game, and sometimes those things can clash.
Yes.
And so she's walking these tight ropes, and when you like that, you're always in your head, and you can't naturally be yourself.
I wonder too if celebrities think about this all the time, because when we see the social media age right now, and you see that regular kids who are putting out content on YouTube and things like that are getting followers pretty fast when something goes viral, because they're their regular selves on there.
And that's
people
what it
connect
is.
really,
It's
really
such
well.
a different
It's a
generation
game.
now.
It's a different game now. I wonder if people are going to start thinking A&Rs, publicists or whatever, going to start thinking like maybe I should make them less groomed and just themselves. You know what I mean? To get that extra push from the public or whatnot, because some of these people are just doing whatever vlogs of themselves their day, but people love it because they're like, oh, that girl's just like me, that boy is just like me. And it's a real type situation, and maybe this is something that's changing throughout the industry.
And,
I think so.
And guys, too, we know ourselves as a host. It's the days of high. You are on Channel 4 and my name, blah blah blah. That's over now.
Yeah.
People relate to us because we're just us.
Right.
Just having conversation.
Absolutely.
I just, and this is an example, prime example. I just did a thing for So You Think You Could Dance this past weekend, right? And when I was doing my stand-ups, and stand-up is basically like an intro or whatnot, I thought maybe this particular outlet was more of like a kind of more of an upbeat, not upbeat, but kind of more like a serious kind of tone, kind of a little bit more just, it wasn't like maybe like this pound or whatnot. So you switch it up a little bit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then the producer was like, "Hey, be yourself. I like you. That's why be what you want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? It
Right.
was like, oh, okay, that's different.
Yeah.
Well, let me put this spin on there, whatnot. Let me put a little steak on it.
Yeah.
And it worked out a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's what they want. So maybe things are really changing, and we're gonna see more of that. More often. You know what I mean?
I have a couple of points to that. First of all, I agree with everything that you're saying. Number one, Donald Trump. He's our president, right? He won because he was different. He wasn't the mold of the political. He had no
Good
political
point, Will.
experience,
And he was saying
and he
it,
was saying things that
caring.
people
He was
wanted
saying
to hear.
how he thought it.
exactly, and just anything that he wanted to say, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, needs to be our president."
And people
I think
grabbed
Bernie,
it.
I think Bernie
Exactly,
Sanders was kind of the
exactly.
same way, except he didn't get the nomination.
It was
But
different.
It's not a political show.
It was different. Yeah.
This the rap game.
Yeah, it is. Second point is there's a really popular show on television, going back to, bringing it back, to This Is Us. And This Is Us is basically, if you ever watch the show.
Don't make me cry, Lem.
I'm not. But the show basically talks about real life issues. And it is very emotional. It takes you to an emotional roller coaster. But I say that to piggyback off your point, it's a very popular show and people gravitate towards it because it deals with real issues. People can relate
Real.
to it. Do you see what I'm saying? And I mean, and to your point about walking that line, I know exactly about that. I grew up in a Christian household.
Yep.
I know what it is to be like, I want to do this.
Right, but
what the people in the church are gonna say about it. Exactly. It's like you start doing the robot all day, because you're trying to, and I can see that being her. And like when the person, when they were doing the what is it, the press tour, and the person was like, you need to be like you're acting, I feel like you're an actor. It's because she's trying to make sure she covers both sides.
And she wins everybody.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day,
can't
everyone's
do
not
that.
going to like you.
That's how you lose.
not.
That's how you
a fact
lose.
of life.
I've learned that myself.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna please everybody inside the room. It is okay. Just be you, and that's it.
You got to be yourself.
Just
you got to
that
be yourself.
thought though too. How everyone says, like Roscoe's mom was like, you grew up in the hood, but you're not the hood. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of struggles where people live, and just poverty stricken in general, whatever or whatnot. Maybe with Tally, it's not that she has to deal with those struggles, but it's the struggle of having to. There's too much more to lose in the respect that she has this platform. She's already building it. She's in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a different type of situation. Maybe that's something that she's worried about, versus where everyone else is coming from. Like, we have nothing to lose
Right.
because we want to gain. We're trying to gain this. You know what I mean? She might have stuff that's not really that evident,
Right.
but she feels like she might have more to lose than other people in that respect.
That very could be true because again, she came in with all these followers.
All right, but guys, I feel like we're talking too much about Tally. Let's move on. please.
I was gonna say,
I'm gonna-
conversely to Tally, the fact that I think what people love about Roscoe, what I like about Roscoe, is he is himself, and he's a funny guy.
Yes,
and
that's
when I'm
true,
watching
too.
him do his in betweens and when he in the show, the kid is funny. I think that endears him to the audience, which is why I said at the beginning of this episode a few minutes ago that I think he's now a strong contender,
Absolutely.
to win just on the merit of his personality. He's likable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he's likable. And the thing is, he's really likable when he's just himself.
Yeah.
And he's not trying to please anybody else because he's trying to please other people with how he wants them to look or wants him to look. And when he's just him, that's when it wins.
That's when it works.
You know what I mean?
So we had
that
Jalen
way.
Roque, who was a publicist from True Star, come by the house as the kids hit their press store and kind of just coach them. So basically, they go to this press conference. Tally and Jasmine go first in the press conference, and then that's where we got the actor comment, because they thought they were just kind of fake, Roscoe goes next. That's when he goes in. He's like, "Hello," shakes everybody's hand, which worked well. They loved him. Nova is next, and he throws out the ladies line. I rap to the ladies.
Yeah.
The way this was edited with Nova in that conference, and everyone's eyes were just like,
But you know what? And I thought that too. But then they was like later after he left, they were like, "Ladies, I saw y'all." So they were really doing that. They were really doing that.
And that's what works for Nova.
Exactly.
He's played that up.
No, absolutely.
That's his thing.
Absolutely. DiTronata goes next. But one thing which was interesting that they asked, I don't know if they asked everybody, but they showed this, is when they asked Nova about, like, if you were out of the competition. Exactly. And Roscoe was the one he thought should take it all, which,
That was a big up right
that was a
there.
big up right there. And no surprise, DiTronata should go home.
Right.
I wasn't surprised about that. That's kind of his arch nemesis, been that way the whole time. And then DiTronata goes next.
Wait,
and then,
real quick, do you think, because Echo mentioned this in the show, do you think that Nova is worried about competition for DiTronata?
"Oh yeah, definitely."
Yeah.
I think. I mean, he would be smart to worry.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's the front runner. If you want to pick somebody, he's definitely the front runner. But yeah, he has cause to be worried. But I think he also feels that she bites his style a lot, and that comes up, time and time again. Came again here.
I think that only comes up because he's worried about.
He's worried about her.
And, which is okay. He's probably never going to admit it. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
true.
But she is a tough contender, a super tough contender. Them having the same style, you know what I mean, or whatnot, could be right. Could be. It's a big issue for him too. But it's just more for him to nitpick on and try to keep that one up.
Right.
On the whole situation. But once again, they are teenagers.
Exactly.
And that's where it could be too. You know what I mean?
That happens.
But I also feel like he shouldn't have said DiTronata home. I feel like this is one where he could have done the plead the fifth type situation and say it because, like they say, you could take small things or whatnot, and it could be
and then it can
something big. You know, publicly be like,
I can't really say that.
I agree.
And
they could have thrown it back on them and say,
that's
well,
the one
you
thing
make
I think
determination.
that they don't know yet. They don't know that they can do that. But that's something they have to work up towards. DiTronata goes next. She ends up getting cut off mid-rap by the hater press lady. That's what I like to call her.
The heckler.
With the
Good
glasses.
name.
And then Flage is last, and then she talks about her father. No surprise there. The next day, they end up going to the TV interview. And this is when it gets interesting because, again, live TV. So there's no, it's what it is, what it is.
Did that ever air? Because, like, why would they?
It didn't seem live because she counted them in.
Yeah.
So I was like, that doesn't happen on
She was
live
like,
TV.
5, 3. Hello, CBS 45.
It was
I
live.
don't think it was live to them. I don't think it was really live.
I think it was an element of liveness to it, maybe. I don't know. But it was TV. It was definitely TV.
Fun little,
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a local station. I mean, it could have been, what is it, closed caption or no, closed
circuit.
Thank you, closed
Just
circuit
for people
TV.
in the building?
Exactly, maybe. They end up going to TV, CBS 40, and Sharon Reed is the correspondent. Shout out to Sharon Reed.
Right, shout out to Sharon
What?
Reed.
Sharon Reed.
She reminded me why I got in this
Sharon
game.
Reed.
Make me
All I'm saying,
read.
Sharon Reed
Gonna make me read.
Right. Get a
Y'all
book.
definitely read her.
I need to get a book. But yeah, she was great. She was great. She was lovely.
For the thirst.
17.
Anyway, she did.
I'm thirsty over here.
She counseled them about, it's going to be live. And basically, again, this is, a spot for them to know that it's live TV. They got to do what they got to do. And then this is when Roscoe says the infamous that Tally is a front runner and basically doesn't know what a front runner is. And then Big Brother Nova says
good that he took that.
He cleans it up. So I wanted to ask you this when I saw this. What did you guys think about him doing that?
Him cleaning it up?
Yeah.
I think it was good that he cleaned it up a little bit. Because I feel like they might have been... He might have felt like they were being looked at as a whole, even though it was still an individual thing.
Right.
But I honestly think he cares for Roscoe. We can kind of see the evidence throughout the whole time or whatnot.
Sure.
So I feel like he was like, I need to do this because that's unfair for him in that situation. You know what I mean? And I honestly feel like even if it for real, I honestly feel like if maybe that happened to Dietrich or somebody else, I feel like he still would have tried to clean it up a little bit.
Even if it happened to Dietrich,
Even if it happened to Dietrich,
I don't know about
I don't
that.
agree with that.
And I think
I don't
Nova
agree with
and
that.
Roscoe are friends because I don't think Nova sees Roscoe as a threat.
Oh.
Yeah.
So-
And that could have been why he said him being first. Because it
That's
was
why
like,
he
yeah, this
was
is my boy.
happy
my
for him,
boy.
too.
Exactly. Exactly.
Look
That's
at it
really
like
good.
That, I mean, yeah, okay.
That could be it. That could be it. But I mean, and I like the way he played it. My thing is like Roscoe, what is he, 12?
13.
Well, now he's 13. I think he's 12 on the show. But I mean, 12, 13, regardless, you don't know what a front runner is.
That's what I was thinking.
I was like,
a front runner. That
you know what a
almost
front,
kinda
front
just
runner.
Guess what that is. But.
Exactly. But anyway, so the final stop that they have is the actual photo shoot with True Star Magazine, and then right. This is when we got all the my thing is, and I thought this was interesting. Do you guys think they said Flau'jae kind of came off a little arrogant? Have you seen that with her over the
No.
course of the season?
No,
I
I
didn't
think
see
she-
that. Yeah.
I know
at
she's
all.
very confident in herself,
Sure,
but not over the top.
Right.
This is why I didn't know. I know who was going to be 5. I think we all knew who was going to be 5. I didn't know where Flau'jae was going to place. That was my hardest thing when I was thinking about it. I was like, she had little bumps here, but it wasn't like big evidence to be there. I didn't see the arrogance. I don't know.
I don't see it at all, and I think she's very likable.
Yeah.
Very
And
likable.
I think that in the hit list, I think that was a little bit wrong. She should have been higher.
And her story is good too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she has a good story.
Yeah.
I think and I think because her thing is she's doing it for a greater purpose. She feels like she wants to fill her dad's shoes, so she has that momentum. Whereas, I mean, everyone has their reason for doing it, but I feel like hers is very set. She says the same thing every time. This is doing this for my dad. I want to represent my dad well. This, that, and the other. So I don't know. I mean, I just was curious about that. Maybe that particular time she might have come off. I mean, this is their perception. Who knows? Diccionata again appears to be copying Nova style with this joint here.
Neither one of them originated that.
Right.
That's the Birdman.
Yeah, it's like, come on. But this is Nova. He sees her as a threat. Tally needs to focus on her real personality, and this comes up again. So we came up with this first with JD's kind of comment about the whole struggle thing. Then they're saying about her, giving a real personality. It'll just be interesting to see. I mean, there's only 2 weeks left to see if she's ever gonna. I don't think she's ever gonna shed that. I think that's just kind of what she's gonna do, which is again why I think that she's probably not going to win based on that. And then Roscoe gave tons and tons and tons of energy. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, he's got this. So we get into the hit list, and as we mentioned, no surprise, Tally was last, 5th place, second time in a row. Do you guys think that she's going to be last again next week?
Oh, next week is the battle.
Yes.
You know what? They have a way of tricking us.
That's what I'm saying.
And sometimes I
It
feel
can go
like
either
Tally
way.
could come through with just a hotline somewhere and
And kind
really
of push it up.
Yeah.
Her spot. Okay. Number 4 was Flau'jae for the whole arrogant situation.
undeserved in my opinion.
Who did you think should have been 4th?
Diccionata.
Diccionata?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. She was 3rd because she wasn't giving enough, at the shoot. That was kind of what was told to her. She was kind of surprised about that.
Right.
Too cool.
Too cool?
Too cool.
Yeah.
Does it transfer to cocky?
No, as in when taking the pictures, just trying to be.
Just that she's not concentrating as
Just not giving.
being herself.
Got
I
it.
feel
And
like,
see, to me, just in this regard, I felt like Diccionata wasn't being herself in the photo shoot more so than Tally wasn't being herself. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like Tally was more, if I could use that term, truer to herself during the photo shoot than Diccionata was. I think Diccionata was, like you said, way too cool, way too
Right,
laid
yeah,
back, way
exactly.
too like,
Yeah,
It's
taking that
like,
picture.
I
stop.
wonder if she felt like she's like, I got this. I'm used to these shoots now and blah blah blah. but you always just got to be on point the whole time.
Who, DiTronata?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
I think photo
No.
shoots are very hard,
Right.
in my opinion, because
Right.
you're thinking about, okay, how does this look? How am I coming across?
Sure.
And I think the people who master the photo
so
shoots,
cool and relaxed.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she wasn't like on it like everybody else. I feel like she came in just like, okay, here's a shoot. We're gonna do this again. I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna do my thing. Blah blah. It's gonna be whatever. I don't think she was worried about the shoot too much. I think she was more concentrated, worried about everything else. I think what I mean is, you have to be on the whole time. You can't just say, okay, if I feel comfortable with this, I need to just keep it. You gotta have that fire the whole time.
Right.
Under your, you know what I mean?
I agree.
I say give them both. Give them some variation.
Yeah.
You know, give them some fire. Give them some laid back. It's all about different looks. Different. And
Well, I mean, we didn't really see a lot from the photographer, like how, you know, they were reacting to them.
Direction-wise, you mean?
Exactly. So we don't know if they were giving direction. I mean, like, what is it, America's Top Model? You know,
Yeah.
and they give it, this is your best shot. And it's like,
Right.
wait, that wasn't my best shot. What you doing? You know.
because Roscoe's shot, I'm not sure why they put that on the cover.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad
Lil
you said
Biggie.
that because I was like, that's
Lil
not
Biggie,
a
which
good
too-
I
shot.
know. I think we saw better shots that
Which
he had.
too,
Like, why would they put
you
that
know,
one on?
they spoke about it earlier in the season too. They want the Roscoe with the glasses. They
Yeah.
don't want the thugged out kind
Right,
of Roscoe.
yeah,
you
right.
know? Yeah,
I can't
so
say
yeah.
the
it
thugged
was
out
kinda- well,
type of
not,
Roscoe.
not thugged out, but
but you know, I mean, glasses off,
That
looking
look,
at the camera.
Yeah.
That look. No, I did not
agree with
understand
that photo.
I agree that he should have won, but I did not agree with that shot, and I'm just curious as to why they picked that.
Another thing too was JD said earlier in the episode, you can tell when Roscoe is focused where his glasses are.
yeah.
So you know when he puts them bad boys up, he's on his
right, he's on his
Superman
game.
Clark Kent status. You know what I'm saying?
And there we go again. That's what I bet you got to be in your game the whole time. So somebody needs to tape those glasses to Roscoe's forehead. And we know,
One with the band
yeah,
going
with the
around
band
their
goes
head.
back, so we can for sure know he's gonna be good.
Yeah,
the next
I
2
heard the
weeks.
Kareems.
He's
Yeah.
already looks like a little grown
Kareem.
man. Like he already looks like a little grown man. That'll be worse. Like I feel like he's such an old soul.
Can you imagine his glasses hanging right here on his neck below his bow tie? Hold on, let me put.
Hold on, let me
Yeah,
put my
I'm
glass.
listening.
I'm good.
I
I'm
hear you
good.
now.
Like the Urkel situation. Yeah, Nova was second. I mean, no one. This was Roscoe's one to win.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think Nova did what he does, but I think Roscoe was going to win regardless.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he was there. His mom, DJ, starts crying.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. She was happy for him. He was super, super excited. And I think he needed that too, right? I think he needed that because, you know, he had been, you know, on the bottom. He didn't making his way up. He'd been creeping.
Right.
He'd been creeping up. And so I think he'd been getting better, but I think he needed it for his self-esteem, to help him like, okay, I got
And
this.
for his mom too, it was good to give her hope that like all
Right.
the struggle and everything we do,
Sure.
it's you know it's worth something, even if it's just
Right.
number one spot for this one time. You know what I
right.
mean?
It wasn't for nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't for nothing. You know, but I think they're they're gonna come out of this and take this show for the platform that it's given him. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You guys remember when Roscoe left the press conference room that one of the guys mentioned that, oh, that's your winner right there.
Yeah.
They were really impressed with him
were.
in the press conference, and they deemed him the winner.
Because he's a charmer. The dude's a charmer.
He is.
You know what I mean?
He is.
You look
It's-
beautiful today.
I think the thing is with him, I think a lot of the other stuff doesn't transcend all the way real because he's so young.
Yeah.
I think that's with him. I mean, I think someone like, let's say, Tally or Nova have the upper hand on him simply because of age.
Yeah.
I think if he had 4 more years, which is basically what they have on him, I think he would kill because he's got bars.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the presence. He's
Yeah.
got the look.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally like I think it's an age thing.
Right.
I think he's just so much younger than them. So it'll just be interesting to see, you know, even after the show airs, or not airs, but it's over, to see where he progresses, you know, in his career. But yeah, I think it's just an age thing. So we do see lastly that Telly gets really emotional afterwards. She's not used to being at this spot, and she's, you know, 5th twice in a row. She started off, had this strong start. I don't know what to say.
She's in a tough spot. I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her. I think she feels that she's in a tough spot.
Right.
You know, like I said, walking that tightrope, that's very hard. That's a very hard position to be
Right.
in.
And I think she's also just on that level because she's like, I'm not used to losing.
Yeah.
I think she's just not used to losing and being in that predicament.
And it's
But the
good.
competition isn't over yet, though.
No.
So.
And
It
it's
isn't.
good to be in that position too. It's good for this fluctuation to happen, so we see more of everybody and things like that.
Absolutely.
And now it's going to be hard to really try to pinpoint who might win. So much speculation here and there. One question, because I know we're running out of time though. You know, season one winner Mulatto. Somebody mentioned it beforehand. You know, she didn't sign to So So Def. She won, but she didn't sign.
There was an interview,
to. to So So Def.
Wait, she didn't sign?
No,
Really?
so she didn't sign to So So Def. I remember reading this, but I never clicked it until somebody mentioned it last week. She didn't sign to So So Def. She's keeping it independent, but she's working with JD. So producing songs and things like that. Do you think anybody else this season would do something like that, or do you think they would take? Think they would take the contract, with a quickness?
I can't. I mean, yeah.
I think development-wise, I think Mulatto knew where she was as an artist, so she chose not to go that way. Now, Mulatto compared to the kids in the house now, I don't think they are equaled up at this point. So, if anything, they should sign that dotted line. Right. Not a Birdman deal, but I'm just saying they should rock with JD.
I thought it was part of the win that you.
Yeah,
it was part of the win. I mean, look it up online. It's like there's two.
There was an interview with Vlad TV, and she spoke about it.
And she talked about it.
Yeah, and it's interesting to watch. And it was a business move. It was a business move. But they're still working together on songs. He's producing stuff for her and things like that.
Right. Interesting. And I think too, I mean, just going on the whole Mulatto situation, her dad had been kind of in that industry for a while. So I think that was his doing. I mean, I think she was like, you think she's only 16 at the time. She's like, oh, I'm signing. We're like, nope, wait. And then you look at, people like Chance the Rapper, who has great success going independent. And, business-wise, I mean, obviously Chance is one of however many that are independent. There's only one Chance the Rapper. But seeing that mold and breaking the mold, it's like you don't have to sign. Right. You can go independent and be widely successful. So, I think everyone would sign.
I think so too. Yeah. Those are questions that I asked. Yeah, I think everyone this season would sign.
Before we did wrap the show, I definitely did want to mention they were talking about it in the comments. The So So Def tour is going down again. Last week we just mentioned it, but now we've got some actual confirmations of who's going to actually be there. We got Miss Mulatto, Mani, Nova, D Trinata, Super Peach, Prince of New York, Lil Key, King Roscoe, Nia K, and more. So if we get more information, stay tuned. I'll be sure to get that.
Hashtag ABTV on So So Def.
Woo!
You know what I mean?
Do that up, man.
So Def.
Yeah.
Can y'all start trending that? Make that happen.
Just
for us?
ABTV So So Def.
Yeah, ABTV So So Def. Start trending that. Let's make that happen.
We can get on. Notably absent from that is Lil Nico and Young Lyric.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Well, they said more. So
I think they would have put their names before.
Yeah, they would have. But Mama Nico made a post saying he's not going to be there, but he's still on his grind. So
okay. Who knows? Yeah. We'll see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our show. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you everyone that's in the live chat that was rocking with us. We appreciate your comments. Make sure you keep that going. As my boy Jimmy V always says, I've been your host, Lem Gonsalves. You can always find me at the Poet Saint all day, every day website. Is stayonthemic.com. Nino Llanera, where are you at, sir?
Yo. As always, you can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Catch me on my website, thefifthelementmag.com.
Yes, sir. Your boy Jimmy V, Twitter, Instagram, at Be Your Own Dad. Go check the blog. I give my extra 2 cents. BeYourOwnDad.blogspot.com.
Guys, you can find me on social media at JJ the Talented and on my website at joshuajohnson.tv. Matter of fact, www. I haven't figured out how to get that straight, because if you put just Joshua Johnson, it doesn't go anywhere.
You got it.
Like, put the triple W first.
Put them W's.
So I get that worked out.
Yeah.
Talk to Squarespace.
Absolutely. You can also find
Talk to Squarespace.
Talk to Tim. And you can also find me and Jimmy V later on tonight.
Oh,
Ratchet Mondays.
Ratchet, 18 and older, though, okay? I
Maybe
go
you
to
can
bed,
talk about
right? 18 and older.
Maybe you can talk about Iggy's Mo Bounce on that.
And let me get mine in. 7 o'clock, we're talking American Crime, which is a great show. I'm hosting that in a couple hours, so check that out.
And Wednesday, back with Lem.
AYTL Second Chances, you already know what it is. All right, y'all. Peace.
Y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
AfterBuzz TV News.